Are we really recording?
We're recording. We're at 3 seconds.
2 seconds.
5, 6, go.
Hello, Flosstube!
Hi, Flosstube.
We're the Bougie Stitchers Cubed because we have Emma today. Nancy's out gallivanting about the United States. They have made it to Pueblo.
Yes.
There has been adventures between here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what time they left, but they've been to the Colorado Cross Stitcher.
Yeah, 9-ish, between 8 and 9 yesterday.
And
they're going to a rodeo
They're going to a rodeo today. They're at McKenna's. They were going to stop and see Drew, but there was just some logistics things that didn't work out. So Drew's not really locked onto campus, except he's locked onto campus. The Air Force Academy keeps their kids kind of locked down the first year. And after Parents Weekend, which is next weekend, he will be back. He'll be able to go to his sponsor family. So there's things he can do on certain weekends. So that's always an option. So we're excited for next weekend because we get to see him next weekend.
Yeah,
so
that's exciting.
All right. So we weren't going to come back to you until Crazy Woman Retreat weekend, which we will come back to you then with the three of us, and then with Amy. If Amy wants to record with us, that would be fun. And we will we'll just get to chatting and talking. All right. Let's start with our moment of gratitude. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. My moment of gratitude is the ability to change. I know we've talked about this before about, give yourself the grace to change or, along those lines. But my focus really is, we're having some changes at work. One of the ladies she has to go for surgery and had to do some things, so she decided to leave. And she did great work. Like, I can't do florals like that woman can do florals. And she just has a really creative eye. So we'll definitely miss her, but we're flipping the store out. And that's a lot of work. And my boss, who has been in the business a very long time, I've talked about my boss, she's 77 years old and a self-starter, has owned her own business since she was in her 40s. She just looked at me and said, "You are the youngest person that works at the store." Remember last year, I was 50, I'll be 51 next month. She said, "You have to give yourself the grace and the ability to accept the change and not have to do everything right away." And that's really hard for me. Like, when I start a project, I want to see start and finish, and I'm goal driven like that. And so I'm learning. And we'll talk about it probably throughout this whole video because I had start-itis and kit-itis and all the things, and I don't want to do anything until I get a project done to start a project. That was my goal all year. And it lasted really till like 2 weeks ago. And then I just became a hot mess. I mean, I have baskets and bags, and if you saw this mess over here of all the things I've been doing, and a pile over there that Emma and I are going to go through later. So, okay, I made it most of the year. Good for me. But now I'm starting. So I'm not doing 24 starts in 24, but I'm starting. So
That's a lot. That would be a lot of starts. Holy cow.
ooh, the ability to change.
Yes.
That is something. My moment of gratitude that we can do that.
My moment of gratitude is actually for the journey. I've spent a lot of windshield time lately, just with what's going on in my world. But and Mater, the journey of life, and like my dog is getting old, and now he really can't see anymore. And he's like,
He's so sweet.
he's so gentle. He's our last like true family dog. Like, we all love our dogs. All of us love our family dogs. But like the last one of the four of us, as McKenna and I move on with life. And he's been my baby since we got him. And so it's just,
So let's just start with that. Mater, who's in her lap right now. Let me just do a little peek. Emma is his person. You can be snuggled in a blanket. Like, he's a blanket snob. Like, if you have a blanket, he's on your lap. But if you have a blanket and he's in your lap and Ems shows up at the house, you are not even chopped liver in a dog's world. You're like, I'm nothing to do with you. And he's in her lap. With or without a blanket, he's with Ems.
yeah. My mom said if we ever get another puppy, I can't touch the dog for 6 months because she has this thing that says that like my dad and I are just animal people, and so they just gravitate towards us. But the journey and the people that you meet and the people that came in and out of your life and the things that you've been through, whether good or bad or ugly, I think they all just make you and shape you. You know, I'm in my 20s now, and going into my late 20s now. I'm 25. I'm making that transition.
Okay,
in
so
the world
in math properties, you do round up when you hit 5.
Yeah.
Stop it! Oh my god!
But
you could talk about wrinkles and pimples on the same face, we'll talk about your olderness.
But like,
I need
remember your
stronger than.
Okay, here we'll do this. Remember your 20s, and remember the path. The person you were at 20 is not the person you were at 25, and that happens throughout life. But I think in your 20s,
sure.
like really finding who
I
you
think
are.
At 27, and I think at 27 is when I had my first. Oh crap! Because I didn't want to dress like my mom at 27, but I sure wasn't trying to look like I was trying to pick up a man at 27.
Yeah, like
I
it's
was
just
married, and I was like, there was that transition, like. So I get it. There's each phase of your life. I get it. We just like to give our I'm gonna say our girls, because Emma and Kenna and now Isabella are girls. Like I'm a mom of boys, so they're my girls too. We enjoy watching your transition, but I get it. You're young and you're smart and you're talented and you're beautiful and I'm wise. I'm wise.
It's just the journey and like the where like the things that you didn't think would happen to your family or to you individually, and the choices you made to get to where you're at now. If I'd never gone to Arizona when I did, I don't know that I'd be where I'm at now.
Tell people what happened in Arizona.
So at 20, so I was 21. I got hurt when I was working at the Legacy. I was a CNA on a lockdown unit for Alzheimer's and dementia patients primarily, and things happened. I got hurt. Surgery happened.
She'll have the battle wound forever.
Yes.
We tell the dogs, or I like to tell Jack that chicks dig scars because of his boo-boo. I'm not going to tell Emma that. She doesn't care about chicks digging scars.
No. But that if that hadn't happened, I was looking kind of like, where do I go next? I didn't know that I wanted to be a CNA anymore, because I didn't want to be, in my hats are off to people that do that full time for a career. But I didn't want to be, in my 20s and getting hurt all the time. And I was getting hurt all the time. That's just the nature of the beast when you do that kind of thing, because they're just confused and you have to be in their moment and their time. And sometimes it's, I've had to pull family out of rooms because they're, confusing them and making a situation worse. And it's a hard position to be in. And I didn't know that I wanted to continue with that. And so a family friend, my dad's best friend's second oldest, she's in the Air Force, and she was getting ready to deploy, and they had 3 kiddos, and they were wanting a nanny and somebody that could kind of just move down there and do life and play, that role of being a nanny and that role in those 3 kiddos' lives. And I am forever great. I was down there for 9 months. I was down there during COVID. When COVID happened, we were on Luke Air Force Base, which is, for anybody that knows, Air Force Base is a training base. So we still saw COVID before we knew what COVID was. And I remember that fall, us all getting that respiratory thing that they didn't know, they couldn't explain. And the kids were really sick, and I was really sick, and Jose was really sick, my boss, and he was a firefighter, so he was on base all the time. And so just like doing that journey with them, and kind of, going through the changes, and they were going through, I had a 9-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 15-year-old. So being what those kids needed, the 15-year-old didn't need me to be motherly. She needed me. She was like my sister, and I can do that role. Where the little boys needed a motherly figure, not that I was mom by any token of that aspect, but
they need that,
that nurturing motherly character.
Because my boys had, so my mom, you met mom, she lived with us for 10 years, and really since Drew was 1.5 till he was when we went to Hawaii. Like that was a lot. But when I deployed, every time I deployed or Steve was gone for business, I mean, you were the fill-in parent, and that's a responsibility.
Well, and the Jose was a firefighter, so they worked 48 on, 48 off. And so we, when he was on base, I was it, and so learning how to be, I babysat, but babysitting and being a nanny are a live-in nanny especially. Two very different things. And I was going through college and kind of finding my path through college finally. And so there was just a lot of changes like in Arizona, and I'm, you know, there was a lot of things that happened, but I'm very grateful for them, and just kind of the journey that's to where am now and where everybody is now.
Yeah. It's a good journey. It's good to be open to change and to taking risk.
Yeah.
All right, should we talk about finishes?
Yeah.
You got an FFO?
I do.
A fully
I finally
finished
have one.
object?
I mean, I didn't finish it, but
Well,
my mom finished it for
Nancy
me.
finished it, so we'll count it. Want me to-
Yeah, probably. Because
So we don't have the pattern, so we gotta talk about that.
yeah.
I think we do have the pattern, aren't we giving it away?
Yeah, we
are giving it away. Somebody I know who is getting this.
Jolly, what does it say? Jolly Happy Soul.
Jolly Happy Soul.
Yeah, so that's the pattern. It's Primrose Cottage, I think.
It is, I believe.
I believe that's what it is.
And you got this at a board from Hobby
From
Lobby?
Hobby Lobby a couple years ago, actually.
Yeah.
It's a cutting board. It was in the kitchen stuff. I have a bigger one too.
It's always good to shop clearance. I know that sounds funny, and I have an old laundry basket filled with like things I picked up on clearance. And I've thinned it out a couple times where there's just been like, I think I bought something for like 50 cents and it was a hot mess, and I'm like, I'm never gonna try to finish that. But
What's she gonna do with that? Yeah, so that's stitched on 14 count. Gray. It's an Ada.
it's Weigart though, right?
Yeah. And
A little trim.
I found that at a Hobby Lobby. My mom, I bought the cording
That's great.
at Hobby Lobby this year, and my mom finished it for me. I finish stitching. I just usually don't fully finish things. So
She's got what Pam and stuff would call an under the bed box, and we just take her stuff.
That's fair.
We just do it,
which I'm very appreciative of.
Because if you don't have it out, like I have, one is my stitch, one is Sandy's stitch. I've got 2 stitches there. One is Sarah. One's mine. Like you just have to have them out.
Yeah.
And I'm really starting to decorate with them. I have one that Jodi, Creative Jodi, stitched for me, and it's out in my front room. And I got like 3 compliments on it yesterday. I'm proud of myself. But you know, it's one of those things.
Yeah, and I have a tiny apartment, so I just don't even think about it. And decorating is just not really on my thought process right now. So
Nancy didn't put a dang thing on her walls until I moved back here, and then suddenly Dave's hanging shelves, and I'm like, who are you and what'd you do with my sister? And my brother-in-law was like, why am I putting a hole in the wall? Like, we've been married, what, 25 years?
26 in December, so yeah.
Hilarious. All right. I have 2 FOs, one I literally just finished. So we'll start with 1 and then we'll go with 2. And these are they're not fully finished objects. These are just finished objects. So here she is, Miss America. That was our first year. And here's her companion piece.
That looks really nice.
I wish I would have left a little more room between the 2, but if I do a flat fold, I'll just
go in the seam. Or
keep it tight.
Yeah.
But there she is. And this is a 28 count. It's one of the first times I jumped onto an even weave. Called for colors, but coffee tea dyed by me. And in true Nancy fashion, I should have said this first, but it's a la-di-da. And I was rifling through my patterns yesterday, and I have the other one. So we'll give that one away eventually, probably as a pair. But she is done. And this is in my Gamma Treasures bag with my Teresa Kogut. I had to steal the black out of this one because I ran out of black on the one I'm going to show you next. My second finish is in my bag made for me by, what's the pattern is going to show? By Angie, the Tiny House Stitcher. It was my birthday bag last year. Are you ready? Oh, wait, let me show the pattern. Yes.
Pattern first.
Pattern first. We're on it, Nancy. I know you'll watch. We're on it. We're trying to pay attention. But this is my Annie. It's a Zareth Andrush, I think, 1789. Annie stitched it on a 32 count, which I also stitched it on. She used Pistachio Frappe from Grace Notes Fabric, She did 2 strands over 2, and she used one color, which was DMC 823. Here is my take on it. And I'm going to stitch this multiple times because...
You can do like seasonal?
I am.
Ooh, I like it.
Get
the board.
Well, it's a board. It's the board your mom made me, and it's just so covered in quilting threads because it's the one I use to transfer pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my Halloween take on it. And I did black and orange. And I'm going to do red and green, I think. I got to think about it. But I just picked the A, the J, and the S. And then the letters, or the numbers, excuse me, I did in orange. And next time I'll pick some maybe other letters to focus on. Like maybe C for Christmas, or I don't know. Anyways, I just thought what a fun way to jump in there. My borders matched, and I was like, I am amazing for a minute.
You're amazing always.
What are you looking for, honey? He's in the laundry room. He's lost. He doesn't know what the laundry room is. What are you doing, babe?
You're taping. I was trying to help.
Very nice. Get out of the laundry room. I'm 100% sure people down south are drinking ice water. Plentiful. He likes to tell people he does the laundry. I mean, he will do the laundry. He's able to do the laundry. He just doesn't do it. Get out of my laundry room is what I just said. All right. Whips. You want to start or you want me to start?
You can start.
All right. My first whip. This is one of 2 that I'm like, let me just start all the things. We better put this somewhere where we can. I'll do it. I'll just put it back where I had it.
Okay.
How about that? Oh, gosh. So, last year, when I very first started stalking Missy and Kathy from Tunita's Pulling Thread, Kathy was working on these 2. I had this one. We had a very generous viewer send this one. And I'm in love with these 2. So, I was going to do them 1/1 on 25 count. I don't like stitching 1/1. Emma here does a really good job. I don't like it.
I'm learning.
So
I really like
I have all the fabrics, all the flosses for both of these, and they're both in this bag. But here's my start. And I love it. I am loving it. So this is my coffee tea dye. The smart ass is Rebel Stitcher needle minder, but my vulture on the pumpkin, that was only a couple days of stitching. I mean,
He's cute.
I just love him.
He's awesome. I'm not even a vulture person.
I'm not either, but I need some fall stitches. I don't have a whole lot of fall. I decorated for fall yesterday, and because we're going to be gone next weekend, and I was like, I don't have a whole lot of things, and I thought, ooh, if I get stitching, I could have some things out, and then I wouldn't need to go buy anything. I guess we'll see. But so this one's under my needle now. It'll be fun. I'm excited.
I do want to do those when you go.
Of course, we'll just keep passing them because I think your mom's in line too. But you should probably just get them for your mom because
Probably.
we love you, sister. But your daughter probably stitches a little faster than you, and you can stitch well. I guess when you're not busy, right, at work.
Yeah. Like on nights and stuff, like in between.
I get to stitch too, but now we're in the busy time at work. We're flipping fall. We took summer out of the shop. We flipped fall.
Well, and your seasons are coming up and holidays and everything
Yeah,
like that.
I start working full time really the last week in September. So, all right, what do you got?
So this is, look at this bag. So this, who was Crinklewood Crossing?
Jennifer.
Jennifer with Crinklewood Crossing.
Crinklewood
I
Crossing.
bought this from her last year. I just love it. I love classic Christmas though.
Yeah, that is
They're
cute.
so adorable. I know, buddy. So this pattern came in a kit.
It was a quarterly
yeah,
from the Fat Quarter
cross stitch.
Shop. I have it.
This
gonna
is
talk about
Old
this.
Deer. Do you have the other two too? Santa and Mrs. Claus?
I don't have Mrs. Claus. I have Santa.
I want to get those two too because
Well, a viewer sent us Santa, so I'll pass that pattern when we get it.
this is the, I can't show the whole thing, but
The needle
this
minder.
is the needle minder, little Rudolph.
And I've got the fabric that I'm not going to use.
Okay.
That's one of the things we're going to talk about.
Okay.
So is this one ready? Is this like for to bring to like. So when you go to retreats, because we're going to Crazy Woman, not next weekend but the weekend after. You gotta have a fill-in piece. Is this it for you?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't decided fully yet because there's some other stuff that I want to get done. But I love Christmas also. So he
Let me get
it
the
came
bowl.
in. I don't love Ada. I don't love 14 count anymore.
Whew,
but
we
it
got some life changing going on in here.
But it came with it. So it was already kitted up. It was already started. I really just needed some Happy Christmas. I found that I'm more, I don't want to say monogamous stitcher, but when I start working on something, I like hyper focus on it a little bit.
Yeah, it's good to get like.
And so,
done.
yeah. So we'll see how far Rudolph gets done. Or he may sit at this point for a long time also. That happens to me a lot too. Because then I'm like, oh, I don't really want to stitch on that anymore. And then it just sits there.
So I have Oh Dear and Santa in a bag over here that we're going to talk about the fabric choice for. Because I think I just want to change my fabric.
I almost changed mine before, but I'm like, it's already kitted. I'll just do it this way. And then if I don't love it when this is done, I'll do the other two on a smaller count. Because I'm really liking 25. And
Over one?
yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see your progress.
And so then I could restitch Oh Dear also. But I'll finish him now. Be a fun Christmas stitch.
Oh, you're more dedicated than I am. So this is the Captains. This is one that I was telling you that Steve and I watch, or when we're watching Star Trek.
Sorry.
But we didn't watch Star Trek. We watched Star Wars. So, but I got it out and stitched on it for a little bit because I want to keep moving them along. There's 6 of these guys. I'm on 3, and the poor guy needed his face. He's fine.
I don't know if he needs to go outside though. I don't want to.
Do you want me to pause the video?
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Peter.
All right, we're back. Body breaks are over. So, third captain, he's in. I just needed his eyes in. It was freaking me out. So, I put his face in and started on his uniform. And I really only tried, because it's only 6 of them.
Peter, get down.
It takes me a couple shows for guys. So
it's every Friday you watch?
Thursday nights usually when we watch, because that's when the new episode's released.
I didn't know they still made new episodes of that.
Oh yeah, there's a whole branching and it's kind of neat because I think they do a really good job of like cross referencing.
Mingling.
Yeah, so you don't feel like brothers and timelines and
It's not like a whole new story, but
right, but they feed each other. All right, what do you got? What's next? I'm gonna throw those over there, honey.
so this is last year. This is This Crazy Life. Make sure I'm not showing the. That's the pattern.
So this is a Jenny Armstrong. Jenny was the designer last year at Crazy Woman, and we were given floss, and the only thing you needed was your linen.
So we were given this, and then all of the DMC that goes with it.
And this is a 25 count over 1.
Over 1, we were given this needle minder with it, and they were all different. Like I think mine's an eagle. There were some that were horses. There were some.
Yeah, I got I got Steamboat.
Yeah.
Which is the Bronc in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Her name is his name. Sorry.
Her name.
Her name.
His name. Whatever.
Where did you get this from? Was it hand dyed?
Nope.
What is it?
It is Colorado Cross Stitcher.
Ooh.
So it's 25 count Lugana Country Mocha. Mater, you're okay. Come here.
It's the best. Those stitches are nice.
They're getting better. So once I finally got a smaller needle, because I don't have little needles, because I was on a Ada kick for a long time, and so now I got to get more small needles. But now that I've got a smaller needle, then they lay so much better.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Really nice work. It's 25 count over 1.
This is the first for 20. Like this is my first big project on 25 count.
It's nice work.
But
Buddhamus stitches. All right. So
Peter, you okay, buddy? Come
my
here.
friend Julie. Julie, you know who you are. We have 2. One we'll talk about in plans, but this one is the one she decided that we were gonna do. And like I said, I ordered it. I'm well aware that I ordered it. I have no memory of it being a stitch along. But Julie and I are on it. And I'm not gonna lie, it was really relaxing. So, it's on 32 count. This is Erica Michaels, and I do appreciate that a lot of you have reached out and said that, oh yeah, I've got all the parts. I didn't realize all the parts are already out because I'm late to the story, but this is part 1. This is Quilting ABC.
Oh, that's cute.
And I just ordered all the floss. I ordered, there is one thing. So the pattern, when they stitched it up, they did it on 36, and she sent us all the requirements for 36, but because I'm doing it on 32, I might need to get more floss, but because it's like quilting and it's not dependent on each other, if my whatever wavy navy isn't wavy navy, and by the time I get to the end of it, I'll figure it out. If I look like I'm running, yeah,
right?
if I feel like I'm running short, I can work it. I can learn to blend it a little bit. But here's more of that. Oops.
Is that over 2 then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And she's really fun to stitch. Like, I think that's 2 days of stitching.
Ooh,
2 nights.
I like it.
I do
excited to see
too.
when it's done.
And
I'll
I was
steal the
worried.
parts from you.
Yeah, sure. I was worried it would because in the pattern Erica Michaels did a great job of the pattern, but you know the blocks are little. She gives them to you in big, so I kind of wanted just to do the entire border, but I thought just pace yourself. Just give yourself the grace to go slow and change.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Did you corner start?
I did.
That's a change.
That is a huge change because I'm a center starter, and you can't center start in something that you don't have like
Center
for.
for.
Center is. So I just am like, all right, I bit the bullet, and there I am in the corner, not trusting myself, but
I think it's weird to center. See, I'm opposite. I really like corner starting, and if I have patterns like I have one that I can't. You can I kind of corner started, but it's freaking me out.
center start. You mean?
Center start, yeah.
See, and I'm all about starting that center. You got plenty of room everywhere. Nope. Of course. I mean, and I was like measuring, and I thought, oh, forget it. Just I gave myself a little 2 inches, and I went. All right, what do you got? What's your next one? I think I only have one more.
Yep. Well, I have a couple more still. So Jodi made this bag.
Kind of a crazy one, but she loves purple.
I love dark purple. I should say that. Purple is a very particular
Yeah.
color, and I don't I love violets in a sunset. Like if I had to pick a color out of nature, sunset would be my favorite color, and the changes in that sunset. But the like purple, dark purple, if it's just a purple color. That makes sense. I can't show this pattern because I don't have a finish for it. It's one of the cups. The stitch.
So there, here, I can do it. Let me show you.
Thank you.
So this is a Stitch Every Day by Just Another Button Company. And they send you the pattern for free when you buy the buttons.
So this is more because I didn't know how big she was going to be. This is an old pick because she's not going to be this big. But I used to have this thing where I like hated cutting my fabric, and I still really don't love cutting down my fabric.
Oh, I love it.
Because I'm always freaked out that I'm not going to have enough, which I know how to measure, but still. And so she's on 14 count because that's what I bought for it. And I'm trying to, I want them all to be the same because I want to use them on my coffee bar. The same color, like same size, same finish. Because I have all 12 now, too.
Oh, you do?
I do have all 12. And I have all the buttons.
There's
Because I was missing Easter. Was it Easter? I think it was Easter. And I just happened to be on night shift around Easter time because they weren't releasing any new ones. And I was on night shift around Easter time last year, and it was like, hey, if you want Easter buttons, we have button packs available I got one of their like newsletter emails. And I have to find it. So now I have all 12. And I have one of the tea kettles. I don't want all the tea kettles, but I liked the March tea kettle. Thank you. Quit licking me.
You're so helpful. All right, you still have one more?
I have 2 more. I don't really have anything on this one, so we could just have one more.
You can have as many more as you want. You should show it because you're not on very often. All right, so I have this is my last whip. Oh, I started all the things though. And I worked really hard on Zeresh because I loved her. This is a bag made by my sister.
I made the bag.
Emma made the bag.
No, Mom cut it out, but I made the bag.
And your mom did say you
Yeah.
made the bag, so I shouldn't. But this is my bag. And it holds my, let me get the pattern out, Nancy. Look at us, Nancy, we're evolving.
We're doing the good things.
The equality sampler. Now, I cannot tell you, when Nancy sent me she's like, Sandy wants to do a Sal, and these are the two things we're going to look at. And I was like, oh, sure. Whichever one, I'm happy with whichever one. Oh, I haven't seen this equality sampler, and I literally got a picture like this. She is a beast, but she's a beautiful beast. So, you will know that Nancy, the disorderly stitcher, my sister Nancy, I know, right? But it's not
That's
your
such
mom.
a fitting name for Mom.
But it's not your mom.
That's
It's
crazy.
another lady named Nancy, who's a disorderly stitcher. Your mom, Nancy, me, and Sandy are all doing it different. We all have different fabrics. We all have different, like, I'm using DMC. I figured it's big enough, and the way I stitch, because I travel, you aren't going, I don't know where my husband is. He's probably downstairs taking a nap, and the dogs are up here acting a fool. But I got a Cedar River, I think Nancy's stitching, my sister Nancy is also Cedar River Linen and Design. I think she's stitching it, but I think she's stitching it on a 20 count. Sandy's stitching it on a 28. I don't know what the other Nancy is stitching it on, but I'm stitching it on 32. Linen. That's right. Not an even weave. It's a linen. And I love it. So I don't know if you can really see it very well, but that flower, she is so dainty, and I feel so feminine stitching her.
Yeah, she's very dainty. It's very like corner of a handkerchief kind of.
Yeah. And I wasn't sure about it, but the more I put the colors in, I love her. I love her. I'm gonna try to work a little bit, finish that flower, and then kind of work on the border a little bit, so I can just kind of, as I show you, I'm gonna just kind of try to move across the page. Anyways, she's gonna be my stitch probably a couple times, and I say this, but I got all these things started, and I got a stack over here that Emma and I are gonna do some work on when we get done here, and we are super excited.
We are super excited.
That's right, she's excited to do my work. Anyways, to say all this, if you are interested, it's Plum Street Samplers. Again, Paulette does an amazing job. That's the hashtag, and I'll put it in the notes below. It's hashtag Quality Sampler Sal, S-A-L. And I'll put it in the notes, the show notes below. But we'll be working on this for probably a year. I'm hoping to have it done by next summer.
You will probably be working on it for a year. My mom will be working on it longer than that.
But we'll just keep refreshing our memories when Nancy pulls hers out. But I do
Good
want
start.
mine done I would like it out next summer. That's my goal. Next year, I said last year, this year was going to be the year of summer Liberty stitches. I didn't do very many. Next year.
You have plan. Oh, do you have, I think you have it. I need, this is an off the wall moment, but I am my mother's daughter. The Stone Creek stitch, it's the 1885 or 1865 equality. I think it's like based on Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. There's one.
I have one. It is Silver Creek.
Silver Creek, that's who it is.
You want that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I won't get to it for a hot minute. I'll probably do it after this one, so it'll be a bit.
I've been in the mood lately. One of my Skills USA people was here for state officer training, and she lives in Nashville, Tennessee now, outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and she's on one of the historical society boards, and so I really like history. I've been in the mood for a Civil War stitch.
Yeah, we'll pull it out. It's over in that. I am changing. So we're going to a charity auction. My neighbor's sister painted this file cabinet. It looks wood, but I'm super excited to get my hands on it and see it, because I think I'm going to bring it in here and put my patterns in it.
Ooh, I'll be
I
ready.
think.
So
We'll see.
This is a hands-on design. Let's talk autumn. There is all 4 seasons.
Yep.
I think I don't have all 4 seasons. I think I have the winter one maybe also.
Yep.
But that's the pattern, and so it's just all the fall things. I love fall. This is like my time to shine here. Fall and winter. I love Christmas. So the next like pumpkin spice just came back out at Starbucks.
I heard that. Was it
And-
yesterday or Friday? The
24th.
The 24th,
whatever
Thursday.
24th was. And so it's all of the good things. Like I don't need Starbucks. I love like local coffee shops. Like I think it's fun when you go someplace new to find a local coffee shop and go get coffee there. But Starbucks is on my way to work, so. And this is
How do
so
you go to
she's.
work?
Well, it's not really on my way.
Okay.
It's like
It's just like,
so.
I know where the police station
Yeah.
is. I know where Starbucks is. I know where you live.
So it's kind of like it's like a 2-minute extension of my way to work.
It's a big loop. And what is it? So you're getting 2 new Starbucks though, right, in Gillette?
Yeah, well,
Or
so
one
the
of them-
Starbucks that's by my parents' house is getting moved to like a lot by the KFC because
okay.
it's really in
It's
a poor spot.
bad spot.
I mean, it's a great spot when it started because really Gillette's grown a lot since that Starbucks went in. But now it's just in a poor spot. So we have one over by the old high school or the South Campus, which is the new high school, and then we have one over by. We're gonna have one. This one's gonna move. So this is what I leave at work. Typically, I usually have one stitch that I leave at work, and maybe I will pick a new one to leave at work now. But so I think when I started, or maybe I think of the very first time I was on here, I showed it, and I was like way up here. So now I have all this done. It's a
Great job.
nice and easy. Like easy stitch to do. There's not a whole lot of counting, and there's like one primary color, so
I
you can
think
kind
letters are easy to stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your whites look great. Usually white is hard. Whites
yeah.
look great.
This one is really starting to show. Like this is the first time I've really like noticed my improvement on my stitches because like these are like when I first started stitching, and then as I move down here, it looks like my stitches are improving. So
No. Well, I mean, it's a journey. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know that. So we're critical of our own work.
Mhm.
But I see a little bit now that you've kind of pointed
Yeah.
out where they're not as even, but down here is gorgeous.
So
Nice work.
I know, buddy. Give me 1 second, okay?
And that's your mom's bag.
Yeah, this is one of her very first bags, so it's very big.
It's probably the right size.
Yeah, I mean it's nice. I'm getting away from having
The
these
vinyl?
open. Like I like the solid.
I can't decide. I like the vinyl because I like to be able to see what's in it, but then I like the.
I'm sorry, dude. You're in a wrong spot.
I know. I'm sorry. So I have choices. This is one of my bags that I made.
It's a very nice bag. I like the.
I just had a little piece of leftover vinyl. That's what that is. Like, how do I use this vinyl?
See, I think that would be like where you just like little people, but like this just gets to be so much.
Yeah, but I kind of like. I do like to see, and I put this on here because it makes me happy. But it's my lobster from Maine, and I can't remember. I think Cheryl, our mule, gave that to us. I think. Anyways, I know it was one of my Maine ladies.
Did I tell you? I think I don't know if I told you, but I'm trying to work on learning how to make those
These?
bowls and stuff, and like scissor fobs and stuff. I
Oh,
got some
yeah.
Grinch beads, and
Oh, did you?
I do. I'm very excited about it.
Well, Nana will teach you.
I know.
Actually, what Nana said was,
I stole a lot of Nana's stuff actually.
watch Annie, the proper stitcher.
Her video is really good though because I've
It
watched
is,
Annie.
it is amazing.
I do love. I have
So-
this one at home too. I want to do this one too.
In all fairness, again, I don't know, like, Plum Street, I've had a ton of them, and I've got them all kitted up. And everything I seem to touch lately has been a Plum Street. But I've had this kitted up for over a year. Shh, don't tell anybody. But, so my friends Bobby and Stacy and Zan, and we were all on a Bobby, the Pumpkin Creek Primitive, one of her lives. And we were all talking about it, and she pulled it out, and she had like, I don't know, 4 stitches in it. Or maybe she just had it kitted. But we all decided we were going to start it, and I'm like, yes! And they started, and life passed me on, and the stitch, it sins with friends. C-I-N, with friends. But she's ready. She's been ready. To say that, Happy Little Stitch Shop, who is Julie's favorite place to go to shop for quilting and cross-stitch supplies, they're hosting a stitch-along starting 1 September, which is next Friday.
With this stitch.
With this stitch.
Okay.
So this is my coffee tea dye, 28 count.
Ooh, that's pretty.
I don't know why. Here I am starting something that I don't need to be starting, because oh, by the way, I've still got my other Plum Street. She's over there in that basket, And I wanted to have her done before, like I wanted to finish that one to do this one. Clearly that's not getting done. But
I think sometimes you just need a new start. Like every once in a while, like
girl, let me tell you about all these
that's
new
why my
starts.
Oh Dear got started, because I just needed some Christmas and I didn't have any Christmas, but I had Christmas all kitted up, and so I just started.
So I just picked, these are all the DNC colors that go into it. So they're all amazing and they're all perfect fall colors. It's all perfect. I'm going to start it on Friday.
Aren't you sample stitching now too? Aren't you going to sample stitch?
I am.
That's cool.
So I don't know. I mean, and those will become priority in my life.
Yeah.
Because I want them to get back to the person they belong to, so that they can have them.
That would
But
be cool to sample stitch.
yeah, I'm excited.
It'll be way nice.
All right. What
This is the last one.
would you just drop? Anything
It's,
you
no,
need?
it's
Okay.
just a bag.
Here, you got it?
So this is my Halloween Quaker,
Oh, she's beautiful.
and there's not many new stitches in it, just a
So
little bit.
Beautiful. So when we started talking about this, Nancy and I did ours on totally different fabrics.
Yeah, I need that. We'll just show
Oh,
the
she could put the
pattern.
pattern. Oh yeah. See, Nancy?
See, show the pattern.
Show the pattern.
So that's the pattern. You've seen Mom and Aunt Jenny are doing it because, you know, we have a tendency to be like, oh yeah, we will find the biggest things to do when we started.
Biggest, craziest
And
projects.
like,
Oh, by the way, we started these big projects like,
Yeah.
within a couple months after starting to stitch.
yeah, like
I started stitching in December, and we had this thing kitted up, I think, in March.
you were moving here
Yeah.
or had just moved here.
No, I haven't moved here yet.
Well, oh yeah, but so
Here she is.
she's a beast.
She's beautiful.
And
I love her on this.
I'm growing to love it on there. I was really worried when I first got
You were,
it.
but I told you if
I know.
if a color didn't work, we could just change it out. But I
Yeah.
don't think you need to.
I don't think so. So far, no.
I love how it's there. You can see it. You probably can't see it like
And the
amazingly.
variegation's not. But I don't variegate. So I don't
I
love
don't
fancy floss because I am a loop when I bought
No, you
been on
can't
this
see
big
it.
stoop.
But you can see the variegation.
Yeah, you can.
But what I'm talking about is like it's like a shadow. It's
Mm-hmm.
so pretty, but it's there. Like you can see it. It's there, and the black pops perfect on it.
Yeah.
And the color, I mean, I don't know. I think this is probably your mom did it on murky.
Mm-hmm.
I did it on some dusty thing.
Yours was more white,
Yeah, I
like
a
white, stormy gray
yeah.
kind of thing.
I think it was called Stormy or something like that. And it was okay. Like I don't tell Steve, but I paid $500 to have that thing framed and put
Is
up
it
in my
done yet?
yeah. It's
Oh,
it's
nice.
downstairs. I'll bring it out in not in a couple months. I'll bring it out at the end of the month, into next month. I decorate for.
I'm sorry, buddy.
You know,
know.
are we jostling you?
He's
All
just
right.
become such an old man. Like in the last
Oh, he's blind
6
now.
months, and his blind is like slowly getting worse, and so it just
It's just
it's a
sad.
Gamma Treasures bag, by the way. I just love her bags.
I do love her bags. Dawn does a great job.
I have a lot of them.
All right. So my plans. Here's what I did. I came home last week and I cleaned out everything that I had not started, that I wasn't going to start this year. I took the floss out. I took the pattern apart. I put the linen away. I took it out of a bag.
That's a good idea.
I'm like,
I need to do that.
I'm not dedicated to it. I'm not. And now to say that, I've got a couple things Christmas. I've got fall and Halloween that are like imploding. And so I just was like, this is how I'm going to do it. And I felt really good about it. And that's when I got startitis. Like I just had to start all the things. Because all the things I wanted to start, I wanted stitches in. So I did that. I started a bunch. And I've got like 5 or 6 things over there that we're about to put into kits. Because I'm ready. A couple of them are secret stitches, so if I talk about them, I'm not going to show them because they're secret stitches until they're complete and the person received them. And then I'm going to start Sins with Friends on the 1st. So I've got all types of things in the next 2 weeks that I'm going to be busy. And 5 of those days we're going to be travel on Thursday, so I'll have 7 hours of car stitch. Friday we'll be busy with Drew. Saturday we've got an Air Force Academy football game. Saturday afternoon, I don't know what we'll do. We'll probably just hang out. This will be the first time Drew gets to like take off his uniform and sleep in his jammies that I'm bringing, that we're not telling anybody about it. Sunday we'll go to
We're
mass.
not telling anybody about it, but you just
I just told them.
told them.
I don't think the Air Force Academy watches me. I think the Air Force cadre does not watch Flosstube. I'm feeling pretty confident that I can say that here. And then Monday we'll hang out a little bit. Sunday after mass we're going to brunch, and then we'll have Sunday afternoon to hang out. Drew just plans on doing a lot of sleeping, and then Monday he has to be back on campus by 7. So I don't know what we'll do.
It's nice that you guys get the whole weekend though.
It is. So and then we'll come back Tuesday. So I'll have 7 hours of cross stitch. So I gotta pick. I'm picking just a couple. I come back Tuesday. Wednesday I work, and Thursday we go to Crazy Woman, and we're gonna see all of our friends.
Yes.
Angie from Hoopy Hobby.
I'm gonna meet all these people.
Yeah. I haven't met Angie yet either. Lynn from Lynn X Stitches. Stacy from Stacy's Creative Studio. Athena, Stitching Goddess Design. Stephanie, well, she doesn't have a floss tube, but Stephanie Eisenhower, I know.
But she came last year.
She was there last year, but she lives here in Sheridan. We were just texting this morning. I'm like, hey, I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. I'm going to have to travel 2 hours instead of 15 minutes to see you, but I'm going to see you. And so we've got some work to do to get that done. I've got to finish my smalls exchange. I've got to finish my project bag. It's cut
I'm
out.
done with all of that.
Oh.
I just need to put it all together.
Just let me know if you need something from the store, because I have access to Christmas and I got a discount.
Okay.
All right, haul. Remember when I said I hate pink? I'm still not a pink fan, though I love the singer Pink.
I think pink in the right aspect.
Oh, this is the right one. Oh, this is the right one. This is Jess from Como Stitches. Oh my gosh, look at her.
It's cute.
I love this fabric. I love her bags. Put the two together. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, don't look at Emma.
You don't have to.
It's a party. She's fabulous, and I've got some Halloween stitches I need to put in here, but I have to take with me because I gotta get stitching on them. You know me and thread beds. Oh my gosh, love it, love it, love it, love it. She's got this cute little pink pumpkin. Oh my gosh, who doesn't need this in your life? Me. I need it in my life.
It is cute.
Then Stacy from Stacy's Creative Studio, guys, if you haven't logged into her shop and set up a login with her to get on our newsletter, you need to, because she had a blowout sale for her birthday. I have been eyeing this since Nashville Needle. Is it Nashville? It's the marketplace in the spring. Feed me, Seymour. I mean, come on. Who does not need this in their life? Now, in all fairness, they did silks. There's a silk pack available up with Stitch Me. I'll probably
Convert.
I might just call and get it.
That's fair.
They do have a conversion down here if you wanted to do it in DMC. And the linen is Garden Party from Stitch Me. So I don't think I have it here. I'll have to look. I wanted to look before I called Bestitch Me and got it, but my Bestitch Me's in the mail. But I was so excited to get her in the mail. I probably won't start this one till next year, in all fairness. It's probably a bridge too far this year. But I've got the pattern.
Does your dog always carry a stick when he walks?
Oh yeah, Jack always has a stick in his mouth.
It's like Ruger. Ruger used to do that too all the time. Find the biggest stick. And Ruger would find the biggest stick, the most obnoxious stick.
Well, when Ruger was staying with us, him and Jack, like Ruger would pick the stick up and Jack would grab onto the stick, and then because Jack was a puppy at the time, would like and poor Ruger had the stick in his mouth, and Jack just like holding on, walking on his back paws for dear life. But yeah, people love it because it looks like he finds these sticks with like a little notch in it, and he carries a notch. It looks like a stogie hanging out of his mouth.
That's awesome.
Oh, he's a hot mess, but he's my hot mess.
I love him.
So just cross stitch. Ooh, those are Mill Hill kits. We should do a Mill Hill.
I know. What's this?
I think I have a Mill Hill somewhere. Somebody sent it to me. They're cute. They're fine. I'm super excited for when she revamps her magazine.
Oh, I bet Mom would do that one.
I bet you she would too. But I got it in the mail.
Oh, that's cute.
That is cute.
It's like a little hobbit house.
It is a hobbit house with mice.
Well, pumpkin.
Yeah. she's got some cute, there are some cute things in here. I think this is one of the better ones I've seen. The just cross stitch Halloween, the ornament ones. I love both of those. I'm not going to renew just yet, but I do go to Joann's, or I will go, I'll get online and order it from 123 Stitch or whomever has it. So, but she's here. We'll let my friends check her out before we move on. Like,
That's cute.
the Halloween one is cute.
That's cute. I like the little pumpkin.
Yeah, I like the pumpkin and I like the,
I like the little skeletons too.
yeah.
It's cute.
I like the little
witch
witch.
is cute.
So, in fact, I might think about,
She'd be a really good small.
she would be a great small. And
The
I
little
have,
skeleton. I like that
and-
one too.
and Sandy, from Stitching with Sandy, I like that one too, is doing a spooky, I think you have till the 1st, before the 1st of September, which is next Friday, if you want to sign up with Sandy to do a smalls exchange. You don't get a lot of information. You get, this is the person you're stitching for, and you just get what they give you. But anyways, that would be a cute
Oh,
one.
that might be fun.
Yeah.
Who's doing that again?
Stitching with Sandy. Sandy, the one your mom and I are doing this all the sales with.
Yeah.
Because your mom gets me into these things. I blame everybody else. I
My mom is
I am
like
free
a
will.
little retriever though sometimes.
Oh, your
And
mom gets
she's
us
so
into some trouble.
it just kills me because she's so not a social person, like at all. Is not like in big crowds. She's wants to but not in her in her crowd. She's fine.
Oh yeah.
But like then she's doing all this stuff and it's just funny to see her like, I'm doing this with this person and this is my friend and who is my friend. I'm like, Mom, you don't even know that many people.
I know. So
Like
her and I, we're both signed into the, what is it? Instagram account, Bougie Stitchers. But it's not the one I primarily follow. I comment on my account, my own personal account, and Nancy takes care of the Bougie Stitcher one. And it cracks me up. Because I'll be like starting, it's like 10 o'clock at night. And my sister is talking to the world. And my phone's like, dee 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 dee. And I was like, oh, Nancy, go to bed. Go to bed, sister.
yeah, it's just funny to see her little social, like, just so opposite of growing up with my mom and like she loves this community and I think that's great.
I think it's awesome. So we do have Happy Mail, but it's with Nancy. So we'll either show it next week or next time we film, because I don't know. I really don't know what my sister's plans. Do you know what your mother's plans are? We know she's in Pueblo today. They're leaving Pueblo tomorrow.
Yeah, so they're in Pueblo. They got to Pueblo last night. My sister had too much homework to do, so they just chilled. There today. I'm guessing they went to church. My sister's huge and has a church down there that she absolutely loves.
Yep.
So I'm guessing they went to church. They're going to a rodeo this afternoon. I don't know after that point what the plan is. I think the plan was to go to the coast because Texas, they were going to go to Texas, but Texas is really hot. My mom's a mess. It's still not a great time for her to be there. So I would guess they're going to the coast. And then
now we're talking California.
Yeah.
Which is great, but I'm just like, we don't know. But we do know, we think we know they'll be back, not this Wednesday, but at least the Wednesday after.
She has to be back before... Because dad has to go back to work and somebody has to watch the dog. So, I mean, they have to be back by the 6th. Yeah, Thursday, that's Wednesday before the 7th. I don't think they'll be gone that long. I could be wrong. My parents get to a point where they're like, okay, I'm done being out of my house. Yeah. And so I would guess like probably a week. But whatever. I mean,
I'm just glad they got away.
Me too.
But I think it's hilarious. Because we were all like, what's the plan? Not that it's our business. But we were like, what's the plan? What's the plan? No one knew. Yeah, so my sister's somewhere in the world.
Well, but my parents don't, like, I love my parents to pieces. And they're both, like, incredible people. But they don't communicate well together.
They don't.
Like,
it's hilarious.
They think they communicate well, but they really don't. Like, the other day, something happened and, like, could have been a really big incident. My mom was like, oh, this is what your dad told me. And I'm like, that's not what it all happened. It was something to do with work. And then it all got straightened out. My mom misinterpreted what he said. And, like, they're just not communicators. So
they're hilarious.
We just kind of go with it.
Well, I think we told the story about the car. So Nancy and Dave went shopping to get McKenna a car because her college is 8 hours away?
Yeah. And she had a 92 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. It was the coolest car ever.
It was the coolest car, but it needed to not be.
But it couldn't go to Pueblo, Colorado.
No.
It would have not made it.
You can't trust it. You know, long drives.
Yeah.
And shit. Anyways, Nancy has this Toyota RAV she loved. Next thing we know, Nancy's got this car that Nancy thought was going to McKenna, and McKenna has Nancy's car.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
That's how my parents bought their house in town. Neither one of them actually wanted to move to town. Dad thought at one point he had to because when he was going to patrol, that was not the case. He found that out, and then they just thought they both wanted to maybe move to town. And then they both thought the other one liked the house, and neither one of them actually liked the house. And so it's an adventure every day.
And it's hilarious. And here I live with a man who talks me to death. Like every decision we make, when we got married, we're Catholic. We have to go to marriage counseling ahead of time, and it's just really to kind of make sure you've talked about. Not that you have to learn. I mean, you learn to communicate as you get married, but you have to talk about things, and make sure, like, hey, are you big family, small families, savings plans, spend money, save money, like. And there was only one question that Steve and I got kind of dinged on, and that's because they asked if Steve said I was a drinker. What my husband meant was he wanted me to loosen up because he thought I was uptight. Well, I'm not a big drinker, and alcohol, like I drink a glass or two and I'm ready for bed. Like I'm sleepy.
It's lightweights.
Yeah. So, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm not worried about that. But
it's not your priority.
But I just cracked up. So the priest is like, Jennifer, he's trying to be all delicate because he didn't really know us because he was like, Steve thinks you have a drinking problem. And I looked at Steve. I mean, we were 21 years old. I'm like, a drinking problem? He's like, oh, I didn't really mean, I just wanted you to relax more and enjoy alcohol more if you wanted to. I was like, and that you're safe and you can do that with me. And I thought, oh, that was so sweet. But drinking problem I did not have. It was hilarious. But other than that, my husband will talk you to death about his plans.
My parents are just so laid back. Like both of them just kind of go with the flow. Most of the time. When it comes to everything else.
True.
Like
they are.
When it comes to like us kids, like even growing up, like sometimes you like, you know, when you go to your parents and you just want like, give me an answer. And not that you always need one, not that you, like, there's times where you don't, but sometimes I need an answer. And so, like, I get to play go-between a lot between my parents and my sister, and because they just, like, this is what they need. And, or like my sister got a tattoo. My sister knows this story. My sister got a tattoo. I don't know, it cost her like $50 or something. She sends us the tattoo. She got it on Monday. She sends it to at the end of the week. My mom,
that's Nancy trying to get hold of us. She's called me. She's called Emma. She's texting. We're ignoring her right now.
My mom, just asking from a mom point of view, like from a standpoint of she's a young college kid, like is like, don't, you know, how much did this cost you? My sister took it as the exact opposite.
Well, in all fairness, your mom and your dad have an arrangement with your sister that they buy her a tank of gas every 2 weeks or something, maybe twice a month, once a month, whatever it is. Well, she called and asked for the gas money, and they said yes, and that's the arrangement they have. And then, so, you know, she's a broke college student who's, you know, working and going to school full time. In the meantime, she shows up with her tattoo.
Yeah, gets a...
And I think we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Nancy and Dave were like, what? So big
on the family group chat, and so I had to like come in and be like, okay, perspective wise, here's what happened, Mom. Maybe we just don't say anything. I literally told my mom, I'm like, okay, maybe not the time and the place. We don't say things like that. You just say, okay, like just go with it, because it's not worth the fight.
It was just fun. So we love our families. So it's time for shares. We are going to, first of all, we hit 5,000 subscribers. Yeah.
My mom was watching that
well, it's funny because you hit so I think I woke up in the morning and I know Nancy cares. And so we were like 4,999 and I was like, wow. And no more than I turned it on and Steve and I were laying in bed and it flipped and it was 5,000. I was like, oh, we got it. And then we were like 4,998. And then we were at 502. And then we were at 4,997. And then we were back up to 5,004. And I was like, I just stopped. I stopped caring.
My mom did not. We
did
all
not.
had to hear about it all the time.
Because people play this game, and I didn't know it was a game. My oldest Daniel was like, Mom, people want to be a specific number. Like, they want to be your 5,000 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
So they wait, and they try to game the game. I don't know who the 5,000 subscriber was. We just appreciate you coming for the ride. Because we know with us, it's a ride. We love to cross stitch. We love to quilt. We love to gossip about ourselves. We don't share gossip with other people, but we love to tell you whatever it is you need to know, let us know. So we do appreciate that. And so we appreciate the fact that you guys have all liked us, you've subscribed, you've given us comments. Your comments are a joy to read. We do appreciate it. And I will tell you, Emma reads them, I read them. Sometimes Nancy and I both answer people on Bougie Stitcher. I try to answer from Jen Ali. But anyways, we do appreciate it, and it is made. But what we're going to do is we'll share the shares that we did last week. We'll get those in the mail. We're not going to do any this week because we're going to package up some things and get them in the mail or for next week. Yeah. Not next week. Next time we film. Ooh,
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now at Crazy Woman. We will give our 5,000. I think we have 5 bags to give away. Yeah. But our first share that we're going to is for Jolly Happy Soul, and you saw Em's finish on that. It goes to Lynn Ellis. Oh, that is I'm a hot mess here. All right. Lynn Ellis. If this is you, if you'll do me a favor, if you will click on that email address below and send me an email with your address, I would appreciate it. Remember, we will never send you a note asking you. We will only talk about it here and ask you to send it to us. And then I just delete those. So once I get I'll probably communicate a little bit with you back and forth. I'll let you know when I stick it in the mail, and then we'll go from there. The last one is the one we said farm, which is Farm and Folk Penny Cushions. And it's by Heartstring Samplery. And that one goes to Deborah Quilts. And again, we don't need any fancy words. We don't really ask too many questions sometimes, but we do appreciate the fact that you guys do watch us and you do comment, and it means a lot to us. All of us. To include my mom, who reads all of our comments. And we appreciate that, Mom. All right. Our BFF. Oh my word. She has one video. She's a new Flosstuber. I was laughing so hard I was crying. She is hilarious. So, Sherri. She's from Scotland, but was raised in the Northeast, which is a province in England, not Scotland, but part of the United Kingdom, of course. And she pulls out her underwear. Oh my gosh, I was dying. She's like, these are my big girl pants. And I was cracking up. She has 2.75 cats. That's right, 2.75. She tells you the story. It's hilarious. She's a spinster. She's my age. In fact, she's probably younger than my age. But she's a spinster. And she'll tell you the story. I don't want to share the story. They're hilarious. I just want you to know. And here's why I love our community. She goes to a retreat. She runs into Mama Loves You GB. And she runs away from her. She runs away. Like, this is like, don't get me wrong. Mama Loves You GB, Michelle, she is like an icon in this community. I know it because I follow her, I watch her, I love her. But she tells the story. She's like, she's going to invite the queen in at some point. At that point, she was talking about the queen for a cuppa, which, a cup of tea for us Americans. And I was like, you want to invite the queen into your house and have a conversation, but when Michelle walks up to your table, you run away? Oh my, but that's us. Like, that is life. Yeah. I've done it too. Like, a big name, whomever, and you're like, I can't talk to them. And you run away. Because they're an idol. There's some, anyways, I just think when you read her comments, Michelle watched her and said, don't run away. I want to talk with you.
That's awesome.
That is such sincerity and such amazingness in this community. That's why we love it. So do me a favor, pop on over. She's got one video. She shows her whips. She's got a variety of stitching. I think she's got something for everybody. And so I would just so Sherri. She's hilarious. I loved her for, I think, the hour and some odd change, because she does a whip parade. She did great. Quilts. You don't have anything.
No, I have one that the goal is by the end of the year. I have not sat really, okay, I've sat down at the machine to like help my mom and like do that, but I've really sat down for myself. So the Grinch quilt that I want to, by the end of the year, get it done. It's a super easy block quilt that won't take me long once I sit down and do it, but I think I just need to sit down and do it. But for me, so quilting was my dad's mom and I's thing. My Nana and I, she taught me everything I know about quilting. And so the boys, I have all boy cousins on both sides. Now I have Isabella,
Well,
but I didn't.
But we didn't until recently.
And on my dad's side, I have 2 older boy cousins, and so my uncle is terrified of women. And he's better.
The best.
He is the best. He's always been the best, but he's just not a girl, like just terrified of women. And so
he's just more comfortable with his cow.
Yes. So he like took the boys and did all the boy ranch things, but McKenna and I just never got to go. Sparky was a super homebody, so she was just never there. So I was just, my grandma and I spent a lot of time. I mean, she, like, when I can be one day when I get to be a wife, she's the person that I will like lean on, and like the things she taught me, how to keep house and just be a ranch wife. Not that that's what I'll be, but and so when she passed away, I was 14. So it's been a long time now. And I just kind of got away from, so like it was just the one thing that I just didn't know that I could ever do again, and so now I'm getting back into it and just need to get something done.
Perfect.
It was a really long story, but
no, it's a great part. It's just, getting to know us. I sandwiched 5 quilts.
Nice.
I've got one done. It's in the mail. The other one I have given away, so 2. I've got one that I think I'm gonna start working on it tonight and see if what my plan is will work. It was a blanket that somebody else had cross stitched, and then I'm gonna put it back. I've already sandwiched it, and then I'm going to do some crosses in the fabric for the quilting in blocks, and I'll see and then put a binding on it. And I'm really hoping maybe I can get that done to give to my friend. It's her sister did it, but her sister's coming up this weekend, or 2 weekends from now, and maybe I can get it done. I'm gonna try it. We'll see. And I sandwiched this one. This is my Tulip Pink. We'll show it to you in full when it's all quilted up. But that was my challenge for Quilt Chicks, and it's got to get quilted and bound before that date is. And I know it's in September, but I don't know which that date is. And I don't know what my Quilt Chicks was.
Thank you. Autumn leaves, so I gotta start that.
Okay. Oh, and I also made some project bags. But really, what I did is I made this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't it great?
I love that material.
Isn't it? But when you go to a quilting retreat, one must have a quilting mat. And I made Nancy and I one when we went to StitchCon. So I thought, she's committed. This is not her first retreat, but her second. And then everyone needs a little coaster to put your drink on.
Oh.
And so,
thank you.
there you are, my dear.
Thank you. This material is so cool.
Isn't it?
I love this material.
I do too.
It's fun.
It's all the national parks.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I had to get some quilting done, get some project bags done. I got 2 that are one for Crazy Woman, and then one that I'm sending into the mail. So I was working on those. And now we got the Wheel of Doom.
Ooh. My mom's least favorite sound.
Nice and loud for sister. Oh, we talked about this one already with you, but you might have somebody else. Influential family member. What do you got?
Why do I have to go first?
Because you're younger.
I mean, there's so many, and
So
for
Mama.
so many different reasons. I think, like there's people that have taught me value of certain things, like my papa, so my mom and their stepdad. I got to know him more than most of the other kids did, And like I remember him just being this like jolly green giant essentially to me. And I know that they have different stories and things like that, but that's who he was to me. He was a huge man as a kid. He was a big man forever.
Big man for anybody.
But like as a little kid, I mean, he was huge. Like there's this picture that he's holding me and I'm like staring back at him. Like I was mad at him because he came down the stairs in Santa costume.
No, so the Santa story was, it was Emma's first Christmas. Was it? Yeah, your first Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember it, but.
And we all, like, it was big. Like, we all, like, my mom had this idea to put this bear together. This bear was life-size.
It was huge. I had
huge.
it forever. It was, I don't think it made the town, but it was stayed at the trailer house for a long time. And
she was like, it's got to get done. It's got to get done. So I came in. I mean, we didn't have kids. And I sewed that bear. I stuffed that bear. And we were putting that bear together so Santa could bring it. Because we wanted Santa to you know, give it the seal of approval. Anyways, Papa, my dad, walks up, puts the Santa suit on. It was a little short for him. They don't make it for tall men, but it was a little short. And comes through the door. She loses her mind. It was nuclear meltdown.
Papa was talking, but that wasn't Papa that was talking.
That could
like,
be confusing as a kid. I'm 100% sure, but it was hilarious.
But then, like, people that, like, weren't necessarily, like, blood family, you know, like, my nana was a part of this homemakers club out at the ranch called Buttons and Bows, and these ladies, like, could tell you stories and grew up when life, you know, and life has been hard for many generations, but truly when life was hard, working the land and
Sorry. I don't know where my husband is. I don't know. But he's supposed to be keeping the Asian dog. Hang on. Sorry about that. Walker. He's excited about something. I don't know what.
But like these women, you know, just people that you looked up to and like became my family without being, you know, and I was related to half of them, but you know, and then like my first responder family and things like that, like just the people influence. I don't think I have just one. I mean, I have so many for so many different. Listen, that doesn't say A. It says influential family member, but it doesn't specify like you only get one. You haven't given. You said I had to go first, so I'm going first. I told you all the things. Okay. They all have different reasons.
It's her Nana.
Well, I mean,
she was she
probably like
for all of us.
Yeah, like if I had somebody that was like
my family member,
like if you like if I had to pick somebody that I wanted to emulate, would be her and my mom. I mean, if I had to pick, if I can be half the women that they are and were, then I'm doing okay.
I agree. I think mine's my grandfather. My grandfather, I mean, he was born in the Depression, joined the Navy, dropped out of high school, joined the Navy, fought in World War II, came home, went to Harvard Business College, dropped out of high school, and just was able to, he was just an influencer. Mm-hmm. I remember once he was in a meeting in Denver, Colorado, when we were flying through with my stepmother. We were coming back to Gillette, and he just showed up in the airport. That's back when, you know, you didn't need your life.
You just walk through everything.
You just walk through wherever. Back in the day, we were kids. He just showed up in the airport, and we got to spend an hour with him. I don't know. He was just always there. And he didn't sugarcoat things. Like, if we needed to be told to pull our head up and pull our pants up and move on with life, like, he didn't have a problem telling us that either. But in my mind, it's just, you know, he was a self-starter. So I think he's mine. I think you always have a special place in your heart for your grandparents.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like, when you don't, you know, you only get so much time with them anyways, and they're, you know, you hear stories from other people about them, and like my nana's funeral was huge. I've never been to a funeral quite that big since, and they
she really wants to get
really wants to talk to us, and like just people that you would never like that knew her when she was a child showed up and were like, I know who you are because she told me, you know, like why would you, just these people that you don't even realize the impact you're having. And I think, unfortunately, sometimes funerals are the spot that you see that come out, but like the influential hierarchy of your family and your grandparents especially kind of.
Yeah, my sister-in-law, my husband's brother, his wife, she lost her grandmother this week. And I remember Grammy she just was the most honest person. Like, not ugly, hard honest, but just really honest. And, but was the first to cuddle you in her arms, right? And we're not her family. Like, I mean, we're like off the sidelines.
You're not her immediate people.
But we're not her immediate people. But she didn't treat my children any different than she taught the boys' cousins. So, anyways, that's a good one. Influential family member. If you've got a fun story to share, we would appreciate it. In the meantime, I'm going to leave you with a joke.
Ooh.
Ready? What did the termite say when he entered the bar? Is the bartender here? Isn't it the best?
That's a pretty good one.
It took me forever to figure it out. If you need help figuring it out, let me know below. I'll help you. 'Cause I was like, I don't get it. And then I got it. When I got it, I was like, duh. But it took me a minute. So there's my joke. We're going to try jokes.
I like it.
At the end.
Joke.
So you can
joke.
Dad joke, mom joke, sad joke. All the things. We'll wrap it up. We'll let Nancy keep telling jokes because the way she pulled that pirate joke off, God help us. If she can do it, I'm like, I can try.
The pirate joke, that could be scary though. My mom's got some dark jokes up her sleeve.
We're going to you guys keep the jokes coming because we've got them all saved. We copied and pasted them. We've got them on a page. So just keep the jokes coming. That
They're
was
fun.
the joke I got. So
I like that one.
I appreciate it.
Good.
All right. Well, so we'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll do our big 5,000 subscriber shares. We will probably talk about our stitching retreat. We'll have 4 of us scrunched around a table. We'll ask Amy to join us next time. She's one of our stitching group here. And we hope to maybe catch everyone who has a Flosstube at this retreat and do what Angie from the Tiny House Stitcher did and kind of give you a peek into their tent or peek under their whatever the saying is. So you can maybe check out and follow them. So until next time, straighten somebody's crown, be kind, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice.
That's what I do.
All right. Until next time.
Until next time, happy stitching.